It started with a roar, then came the lawsuits, protests, and a strange political silence. In rural Georgia, something wild is happening, and it has claws, teeth, and legal grey areas. Big cats, yes, lions, tigers, and leopards are being kept in enclosures just miles from local homes. Some are part of breeding programs, others come from roadside zoos or exotic pet trade routes. But when residents hear them growl at night, they don't think rescue, they think danger. And yet, the law in Georgia allows private ownership of certain big cats with special permits. That includes cougars and cheetahs, though owning a tiger or lion requires federal approval. Still, loopholes, outdated codes, and vague enforcement have created a breeding ground for controversy. One sanctuary near Augusta has drawn both praise for rescue and scrutiny for escape risks. Neighbors reported seeing a leopard pacing the fence line, too close for comfort, too quiet to ignore. So, county officials proposed tightening restrictions, citing public safety and humane treatment concerns. But almost immediately, another faction pushed back, accusing lawmakers of trying to declaw the law. These critics argue that sanctuaries play a vital role in protecting animals from abusive owners. A former USDA inspector revealed multiple complaints were never followed up on due to politics. And when tigers are used as photo props or bred for cub petting, exploitation begins. Georgia isn't the only state facing this, but it's become a battleground for what comes next. In 2023, a bill was introduced to ban private ownership of any big cats statewide. The backlash was immediate. Owners flooded town halls, calling it a seizure of rights. One breeder warned it would drive the trade underground, making the animals harder to monitor. Yet for some lawmakers, that's already the case. Secretive sales, hidden cages, vanishing records. An undercover investigation found one roadside zoo selling tiger cubs as house pets to Florida buyers. In Georgia's law books, big cat regulation sits between agricultural codes and exotic animal clauses. That legal ambiguity has opened the door for profit-driven enterprises posing as sanctuaries. One so-called rescue facility was caught funneling animals to traveling shows across state lines. Another faced allegations of declawing lions, a painful outlawed procedure masked as veterinary care. These abuses sparked calls for stronger enforcement, but the response has been slow and strangely quiet. Some believe economic ties to tourism and animal exhibits are keeping lawmakers on a tight leash. Others say the exotic animal lobby has grown more powerful than most people realize. Georgia's Department of Natural Resources remains publicly neutral privately. It's swamped with permit requests. In just 5 years, exotic animal complaints in Georgia have tripled, but citations have barely increased. One rural sheriff described a terrifying call. A panther escaped during a thunderstorm, no official report filed. The sheriff was told not to raise alarm unless someone gets hurt. It's a dangerous gamble, one based on luck, not regulation. And now the push to declaw the law is being framed as a battle for freedom. Animal owners cite constitutional rights, while activists invoke public safety and ethics. In this legal tug-of-war, the animals themselves remain voiceless, caged by bureaucracy and profit. Some facilities do things right: professional staff, safety protocols, conservation efforts. But others cut corners, operate in secrecy, and rely on social media for donations. The line between sanctuary and spectacle blurs when tigers are used as photo props. And as cubs age out, some are quietly sold, euthanized, or lost in paperwork gaps. That's why critics say Georgia's current laws aren't just outdated, they're dangerous. Especially when these animals can leap fences, survive storms, and vanish into the woods. One loose leopard took 6 days to track, no tranquilizer, no permits, just shadows and fear. And had it attacked someone, who would be held responsible? Lawmakers? Owners? Or the underfunded agencies trying to clean up the mess? These questions have no easy answers, and that's why the debate has grown so fiery. Some propose a licensing overhaul, centralized databases, GPS chips, mandatory facility audits. Others demand a complete ban, no exceptions, no ownership, no risk. But those in favor of private sanctuaries say the state shouldn't punish responsible owners. They argue that rescue centers are doing what the state won't, housing abandoned exotic pets. Still, the lack of oversight leaves the door wide open for abuse, neglect, and trafficking. Georgia's landscape is shifting both literally and politically around the future of its exotic animal policies. In the background, the animals pace silently behind bars, waiting. Their fate depends not just on laws but on public awareness, funding, and compassion. Declawing the law might protect profit, but it won't protect people or predators. As lawmakers weigh their next move, the clock ticks and the cages remain full. What happens when the next storm hits or another fence fails? Georgia may soon learn that reactive policies come at a cost, sometimes one measured in claws. And in the end, the question isn't whether we control these animals, it's whether we're ready to admit the laws that should protect them are no longer enough.